Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You talk about this Chiefs defense.
They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
On second down, here's Rodgers. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
First down, here's the run with Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
The Jets had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Now Rodgers. Caught. It's Wilson. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
They'll run it. Here's Cook.
And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so there's no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But that's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
On 2nd down, Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
You talk about this Chiefs defense.
And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Garrett Wilson,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Jets put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now a 7th-round surprise from a year ago. It's Isaiah Pacheco.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Sharks got it, left side. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 8. In motion right is Tony. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
A give right side for Pacheco.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. Chart the motion man right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that will be they couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. Kicking into a headwind here in the second quarter. Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Left side, Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Back north. To the 50.
Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
Stopped and handed a loss by Willie Gay that time.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. And this is incomplete.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
The Jets on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Rodgers going to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets.
Waiting on it will be Richie James. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, How much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's Pacheco once again. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Pacheco gets it up the gut, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Here's Pacheco headed right. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. A run by Pacheco on 2nd down.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man right side is Tony. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
18 yards, a big pickup there on third down.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pacheco.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL. So they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action. Now Rodgers.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
At the 45-yard line.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the 1st down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is caught. Touchdown.
Kadarius Toney.
56 yards.
And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground again here. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman.
Both these teams getting a chance to dry out,
report.
maybe
Coach.
change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
They go play action. Now Mahomes.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark.
That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
On first down, they go back to Pacheco.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
And the screen unsuccessfully dropped him. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Again, it's Pacheco.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run with Pacheco.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Butker's kick here is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Back north.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 8 now.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Yeah, this. Get 300. Get 300. 26.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
He's got his man. That's Hardman.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Jump out!
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now a play fake. Rodgers escaping the pressure right.
Oh, what was he thinking there? It's easily intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. Brought down by Willie Gay.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's Rodgers.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by Justin Reed. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot.
And now off to the races down the right side.
He'll get it inside the 20.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And it's caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. DJ Chark. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, They try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
47 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 4.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
The Jets on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
6:30.
Now it's Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. They go play fake. Mahomes. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Mahomes pass intercepted. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it.
He'll complete this one to Watson.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
On first down, Mahomes.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And Shark hauls it in.
He's into space past the 25.
And down to the 19-yard line. A big play there for KC. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Hey, 57 color, 57 color. Hey, Riblin.
Mahomes to throw once more. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running? Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Off to the races, Garrett Wilson.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
At their own 25-yard line.
Hey, yellow, go, 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 go. Yellow, yellow. There's that.
Mahomes going to throw it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.